What's up, everybody? Noble Comics here with the second round of the semi-finals of the Tournament of Power. Only one round left after this. This is going to be Hit versus Superman. But first, let's look at the results of the last semi-finals match, which was Vegeta versus Broly. As we can see, Vegeta is going to take it with almost 80% of the vote here, and he will be advancing to the finals. Now, let's see who is going to join him. So, Hit versus Superman. This is an interesting fight. I know I say that about all of them, but this one really is interesting. And that's because we just had a fight of Hit versus Shazam. And if you remember, during that fight, I made the comment that Shazam and Superman are pretty equal physically. And that's been shown consistently throughout both of the characters. When it comes to strength, speed, and durability, they're on pretty equal footing. Now, Superman definitely has more high-end feats because he's definitely more of a main character, obviously, than Shazam. But I think standard issue, physicals, whatever, they're on pretty equal footing. And Shazam lost that fight. And it wasn't even that close when it came to the votes. I think it's probably closer than it should have been, and maybe Shazam should have even won. I've seen some people make interesting arguments for that. But it wasn't as close as I think it should have been. But regardless, Hit did win. So now you might think, well, Hit beat Shazam. You already said that they're about equal in physical, so Hit should win this one. Well, let's talk about that a little bit more. So, bit of a refresher. Hit, the assassin, is a Dragon Ball Super villain slash maybe a friend of Goku at this point, who fought Goku a few times and fought in the Tournament of Power. And how did he do? Right, let's see. How did he compare? Well, against Goku, he fought, you could argue whether it's like 3 or 4 major fights, but they fought a handful of times. And Goku has never definitively beaten Hit. I think Hit definitively won one of those fights, and they stalemated at least 2 times. He's obviously very skilled, very technical. Though his fighting style isn't like somebody like Broly, where he's just this rage machine, super powerful, unstoppable, whatever. It's actually quite the opposite. Hit is very focused, he's very skilled, he's very precise. He has a time skip ability that allows him to move super quickly and hit super hard at specific pressure points in somebody's body. We saw him do this against Dispo, we saw him do this against Vegeta, we saw him do this against Goku. He wasn't able to beat Jiren, though he did do okay. He got trashed, but he didn't do terrible against Jiren, all things considered, and he has had an impressive showing against the Super Saiyan Blue heroes. And the main argument against Shazam was that Shazam, while being extremely powerful, does still have the mind of a child, though he does have the wisdom of Solomon. So we don't know exactly how that plays out, but he is clearly childish. He doesn't know who Hit is. Hit's got insane speed and power, and we didn't think that Shazam would catch on to the time skip ability and wouldn't be able to land a hit on the assassin, and in the end would lose. So how does Superman compare to that? Well, Superman, we know, arguably the most powerful hero in DC Comics. The man needs no real introduction. We all know Superman at this point. How does he differ from somebody like Shazam? Because again, physically, they're about the same, probably on par. Again, Superman has better high-end feats, but that's because he's more of a main character, so of course he's going to get those. We know he has a lot more experience than Shazam. He's probably a better fighter than Shazam. But I think the key thing is that Superman is extremely smart, and he's a lot smarter than Shazam. Because that character has shown to be kind of childish and kind of goofy, not the brightest, but has a good heart, yada yada. Superman does have a good heart and all those physical attributes, but he's also extremely smart and clever. So in a fight between these two, I don't think that that advantage Hit has will play as big of a role. I think it'll definitely play a role in the beginning, like it always does. Anytime someone fights Hit for the first time, they're caught off guard, because nobody expects the time skip ability, nobody really knows how it works. And they usually end up getting beat quickly because they can't figure out how it works. I think it'd start quite the same way. Superman would not know how it works. He'd probably get thrashed a little bit in the beginning, but I do think Superman would be able to figure it out. Because Goku figured it out, eventually, and I believe Superman could too. So then it comes down to, with that in mind, could Superman put Hit down, or vice versa? Martial arts-wise, Hit definitely has the advantage. Strength-wise, Superman probably has the advantage. Combat speed, Hit probably has the advantage, though we do know Superman has insane reaction time, so he's not completely counted out. Energy projection wise, Superman probably has that advantage with his laser vision, because we don't really see Hit throw many blasts or anything out. And durability wise, I'd say Superman probably has the advantage. Yes, Hit does scale to Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and maybe even slightly above that, at least at the time of the Tournament of Power. Superman is without a doubt in that range, if not again, slightly higher, as far as raw power output potential. With all that said, I definitely think Superman would have an easier time knocking out Hit than Hit would have knocking out Superman. And I think that was true with the Shazam debate too. I think the difference here is that Superman, one, has more feats that he can draw from, or that comic book fans could draw from to give him the W, and he also is incredibly clever. So Hit's techniques could potentially be sniffed out, right, and countered. So I guess the question at the end of the day is, could Superman catch on quick enough and then react fast enough to land enough hits on Hit to take him out of the fight? Or could Hit move fast enough and use his techniques well enough to avoid getting hit by Superman and tack on as much damage onto him as he could in order to take him out? Honestly, I think that both are viable outcomes. I think the biggest issue would be Superman being able to land a hit, though I definitely think that he could. This is one that I think could go either way, and so I will be relying on you all, the voters, to let me know what you think. I will say my mind is pulling me towards Hit winning, because I'm thinking, I just don't know how Superman's going to be able to land a hit. Hit's so much more skilled, he's so much faster, so much a better fighter. I don't know how Superman would do it. My heart is saying, of course Superman would win, he's Superman. All it would take is like 2 hits and he'd knock the guy out. He could react fast enough. Surely he would win. So, not an easy fight. Though I trust in your input and your votes, so please let me know what you think. And I guess I'll see you in the finals. Bye.